Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is now 3:05 p.m. Central, and you have a live look at an ongoing severe weather outbreak across portions of Texas and Oklahoma. This evening is going to be a big one with strong tornadoes impacting portions of northeastern Texas and southeastern Oklahoma over the next several hours. We already have had several tornado warnings today across portions of Oklahoma, and we're continuing to see damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour batter the state. Right now, we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings across parts of the southern plains. These are big ones because they mention the threat for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour and possible tornadoes with certain ones of these storms. We also have a tornado watch in effect for portions of southeastern Oklahoma and northeastern Texas, which includes Oklahoma City and Norman, back through the extreme northern portion of the DFW Metroplex and the extreme southwest portion of the Tulsa suburbs. So let's go ahead and dive right into coverage here, alright? If we take a look at our biggest severe thunderstorm warning, we see that this is in effect for Chickasha, Anadarko, Elgin, and Rush Springs. This is for the threat of 70 mile per hour wind gusts and a possible tornado here. This storm is currently riding up Interstate 44 towards Oklahoma City, so we'll watch out for Oklahoma City to potentially receive a severe thunderstorm warning within the next 30 minutes or so. We've also got a storm further down to the south that does have a severe thunderstorm warning with it for the Ardmore area, so we'll continue to watch that as it progresses off to the east. And it also has a severe thunderstorm warning off to the southwest towards Nakona for portions of Highway 82 for the threat of quarter-sized hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts, so we'll look out for that as well. We could also see some isolated severe storms back into portions of northwest Texas where a severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect, and we do have some stronger storms producing some damaging wind gusts near Abilene and Graham, Texas. This is a live look from Abilene, Texas. We see that things are getting pretty gusty out there. We've got a beautiful view of some of these thunderstorms as well, okay? So storm chasers Corey Yerk and Vince Welty and Connor Croft are all out there chasing these severe storms right now in parts of Texas and Oklahoma. We did actually just get a wind damage report. Sorry, this was from earlier this morning, I guess, but apparently a semi was blown over in this area near Marietta, Oklahoma, the town that was hit by a violent EF4 wedge tornado just a few months ago. And that same area is under a severe thunderstorm warning once again, so make sure to be on the lookout for more damaging winds and hail. So we'll continue to watch these storms as they progress in general trends towards the east-northeast here. Again, we're going to watch for tornado warnings to be issued, and we're going to have a very long evening of coverage for you guys most likely here if things turn out the way we think they will. An enhanced risk of severe weather remains in effect for portions of northeastern Texas and southeastern Oklahoma, all the way up towards the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line, including the outer western suburbs of Fort Smith here across the Missouri River. So anyway, I'm going to go and bring up Stream Chat. If anybody has any questions about their location, feel free to leave those down below. I'll try to answer them accurately and honestly because this is going to be a very big, vital, important day in the history of fall tornado events. So let me go ahead and pull Stream Chat up here. Give me 1 second. Good to see that we've got the usual crowd back here once again. So there we go. I did mention that a severe thunderstorm warning would likely be issued for Oklahoma City shortly, and there it is. This is a massive severe thunderstorm warning that includes several historic Oklahoma cities for the tornadoes, actually. This includes El Reno, Yukon, Oklahoma City, back through Moore, Norman, Noble, Slaughterville, all the way towards Choctaw. This is for the threat of 70 mile per hour winds and a possible tornado. So if you are in Oklahoma City, make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows immediately. But yeah, again, good to see the usual crowd back once again. What's up, Sam? What's up, Brizen? You have friends that live in Anadarko? Yeah, make sure to let them know what's going on. I mean, they probably already know. In fact, the storms have, for the most part, already passed Anadarko. It actually does look like there's a flash flood warning for the southwest side of town, so make sure that they are aware that the streets could definitely be flooded out there, so if they're driving carefully, don't drive into flooded roadways, obviously. So again, our Oklahoma City storm here is not only concerning because it's in a populated area, but again, it's also the strongest one we have right now, producing damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, and it has the potential to produce a tornado here soon. It was actually filled up with tornado warnings earlier. What's up, Mr. Storm? But at this point, it is just left with a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, and again, this is going to go right into the Oklahoma City metro, so if you're in Oklahoma City, any part of the suburbs, make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows. This includes everywhere from Edmond down towards Norman, all the way back through Purcell and Rosedale. So back down here further to the south for our Ardmore storms, they actually do look to have some broad rotation here. It's kind of hard to see because we don't have a great look from the radar here. We're in a bit of a radar hole, but we do have the southwestern Oklahoma radar to view them from. Can't go live, unfortunately. Yeah, that sucks. Again, The peak severe weather time frame will actually be later this evening, but things are already starting to kick off quite intensely here. That's why we're here live this afternoon. Again, we had a massive stream earlier today. By the way, for anybody that's not aware, we do have potential tropical cyclone 18 out here now, and interestingly enough, the National Hurricane Center's track never notes the potential that this could turn into a hurricane. It doesn't even note that it could turn into a tropical storm, but it will be a system that has hurricane force winds. So the outlook here is very interesting, and again, they already do have the cone going out to portions of southern Dixie Alley here. Again, we'll be expecting a landfall in the Gulf of Mexico from this system, likely somewhere in Louisiana based on recent model trends and the National Hurricane Center's new cone. So again, a flood watch remains in effect here for portions of the southern plains, as these storms will bring some very heavy rainfall. In fact, we've already got a flash flood warning in effect, like we mentioned here, for the Medicine Park area through Cache, Indiahoma, and Apache, where this line of storms moved through here earlier, and again, almost produced a couple of tornadoes, maybe even did produce a brief tornado, but there's no confirmation on that, I do not believe, at this time. But again, these storm chasers here are on this southern storm where it is crossing close to Interstate 35 near Ardmore, so we'll see if we get any reports from them. Again, it looks like it could have some rotation embedded in this line, so we'll see what happens with that. But for right now, we'll go ahead and zoom back in here on our Oklahoma City line, as again, this one is the one that we're mainly watching because it is in a more populated area. These areas have already gotten hit by storms several times in the past few days, so that's only going to tack on the flooding. And overall, it's going to be a pretty rough situation for the most part. So, again, NATOcast out there with the 10% tornado risk within 25 miles of any given point, but they do have the hatched indicator in there as well. So, if we go ahead and bring this up on your stream, we can see that it's actually very, very similar to the SPC outlook. They do have, a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes going out for portions of Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas here. That little black area there, again, that's the hatched indicator that indicates that we could see strong tornadoes in that area there, potentially significant violent tornadoes in that area as well, again. So we're mainly going to be watching portions of west central Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma, and northeastern Texas, it looks like, this evening. And again, outside of that, the brown area, that's the 5% chance to see a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. We could still see an isolated tornado or two in that region. And again, we had tornado warnings out in that area earlier, but at this point, it's looking like it's mostly going to be honed in here on southeastern Oklahoma, west central Arkansas, and then northeastern Texas as well. It is also worth noting that, again, the NATOcast model does have a 30% hatched tornado risk going out for parts of southwestern Missouri tomorrow. If this was on the SPC scale, this would be a high risk of severe weather, the highest level that exists. So, pretty interesting to note there. Again, take this all with a grain of salt because this has no human input. This is all based on AI, and also the area that they're highlighting this in is incredibly strange, but it is worth noting that there is the potential to see a significant tornado outbreak tomorrow, even more significant than the one that we are expecting to see here later today. Again, tomorrow we do have a 10% hatch risk for tornadoes from the Storm Prediction Center here going out for parts of northeast Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, and extreme northwestern Arkansas. This does include some higher population centers in this area like Tahlequah, Oklahoma, the southeastern Tulsa suburbs, Muskogee, Sulphur Springs, Paris, the northeast side of the DFW Metroplex, and now we do have a brand new tornado warning that's going out for the west side of Oklahoma City. So a tornado warning has just been issued for the west side of the Oklahoma City Metro. This includes Yukon, the north side of Union City, and the south side of El Reno. Seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. Again, we mentioned this rotation here a few minutes ago. So Powers, again, this is crossing into your area soon. This is going to cross Highway 81. It's going to get near Yukon, and eventually it's going to make its way into the Oklahoma City suburbs. So we've got to look out for this. Very serious situation ongoing. Okay. So again, tornado warning now for portions of central Oklahoma if you are just now tuning in. So give me 1 second here. Let me go and update the stream title. Again, this is a pretty dangerous situation. Again, this rotation is going to be going on the north side of Union City, on the south side of Powers. So this is out here in the far western Oklahoma City suburbs right now. And it's going to push east towards the metro over the next several minutes. And now we have another tornado warning as well for that same line of storms for the Chickasha, Blanchard area. So if you're in this area as well, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, in an interior room. Very dangerous situation. Okay. Give me 1 sec. Let me update the stream title here. Alrighty. So, let's go ahead and throw up that tornado warning layout. Yeah, I definitely could too, Mr. Storm. I think that looks quite intense there. So let's go and update this counter here. Again, 2 tornado warnings now just issued for portions of central and southern Oklahoma. If you're just now tuning in, these are both for parts of the Oklahoma City suburbs here. One of them includes the city of Chickasha. The other one does include the city of Yukon. So, again, both parts of the Oklahoma City metro region here. So, again, if you're in either of these tornado warnings, you need to seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows in an interior room. Now, if you're in Oklahoma City, the tornado sirens may be going off, you may be getting the emergency alert on your phone. You are not actually included in this tornado warning if you are in downtown metro Oklahoma City. Again, we are only talking about the far western side of the city right now. So, even though the sirens are going off, the emergency alert may be going off. Right now, there's no imminent tornado threat to downtown Oklahoma City, but that could change, so stay diligent, stay tuned into the stream here. But right now, there is no major tornado threat to Oklahoma City, but again, we do have some rotation coming into the metro very soon, so we'll look out for that. So again, right now we're watching this rotation here, about to cross over Highway 81 near Powers. Yeah, every side of Oklahoma City is getting battered by tornadoes. They got hit by tornadoes last night as well, if you're not as aware. Several strong tornadoes touched down, even including a high NDF3 already confirmed near Hurrah. So anyway, new radar scan here on the velocity, still showing that broad rotation, entering downtown Chickasha now. So again, if you're in Chickasha, you gotta go. It's right on top of you. And then the rotation nearing the south side of El Reno is looking a little bit weaker. Again, it's entering the Powers area. We'll go and check if there's a debris signature. There is not. So again, no confirmed ongoing tornadoes at this time, but that could change. Yeah, Oklahoma definitely is getting slammed, Brisen. Very true. So we'll continue to watch these here. It looks like we went live at a pretty good time. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we have tornado warnings across parts of the Oklahoma City metro region here. We've got rotation near Chickasha, Oklahoma, and rotation south of El Reno, Oklahoma. Both of these could be actively producing tornadoes. If they're not, they could do so within the next several minutes. By the way, let's try to hit 25 likes this stream. We're not going to harp too much on the like and subscribe thing because we do have serious stuff ongoing this stream. But if we could hit 25 likes this stream, that would be pretty awesome. So let me go ahead and pin that message there. Again, we're not going to harp on the like goal this time around because we've got some very serious stuff going on, but we are going to see if we can kind of push that engagement out there so that this gets further into the algorithm so the people that need this coverage can get it. So again, if you would like and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. Again, it's not required, but we are trying to make sure that everybody that possibly could ever need this stream is able to see it. And you guys doing that on this stream, liking and subscribing, that will help push this further into the algorithm. Alrighty. So, I just sent a community post out about this stream. Again, we're going to try to make sure that everybody knows what's going on here, because again, this is a very dangerous situation coming for the Oklahoma City Metro. Okay, so the new velocity scan here, still showing some rotation near Powers, Oklahoma. So again, if you're in Powers, make sure you're staying in your safe spot. However, it is luckily weakening. The Chickasha rotation is also broadening out a little bit, but it is still looking somewhat intense, so continue to watch that. So give me one moment. Alright. So again, things are getting quite serious here, and now we have a third tornado warning in Oklahoma. This is going out for the community of Wilson. If you're in Wilson, Oklahoma, seek shelter immediately. Again, guys, we pointed this one out. We've been calling them out really well today. If you're in Wilson or Post Oak, you need to seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building in an interior room and away from windows. Very dangerous situation near Petersburg. Very intense stuff starting to get going here for sure. Again, things are not looking good, and they're only going to continue to get more intense as these storms take advantage of that cape, they take advantage of that wind shear, they take advantage of that instability and everything else that this environment is providing for them, and they're going to continue to rotate stronger and stronger until eventually we likely end up seeing several tornadoes, and again, maybe an isolated strong tornado across parts of southeastern Oklahoma, maybe even a couple strong tornadoes, so we'll watch out for that. But again, already several tornado warnings going, and this stream just got started. So again, things are going to get very intense today, without a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. So again, rotation near Chickasha and rotation south of El Reno currently ongoing, capable of producing tornadoes. And now rotation nearing the town of Wilson, capable of producing a tornado. So if you're in any of these areas we're currently mentioning, please seek shelter immediately. Do not wait. Go now. As again, this is going to be a very serious day. It's going to be a serious day. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be an intense day. So again, still several tornado warnings ongoing across parts of central and southern Oklahoma here. All of these are going to be in effect for at least several more minutes. Again, the one entering downtown Oklahoma City is probably the most concerning one. Not only is it likely the strongest, but it also is entering the most populated area. So again, we've got to look out for that. If you're in Banner, Powers, Yukon, you need to be in your safe spot. Again, soon this will be entering downtown OKC, but right now it is not. Whenever it does enter OKC, it'll likely be on the far north side of the metro, so downtown Oklahoma City probably doesn't have quite as much to worry about with this, but you will still see heavy damaging winds and very heavy rain to look out for. So again, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows if you're in OKC. Probably already starting to get in on some of that lightning and some of that moderate to heavy rainfall, but it is about to get a lot more intense within the next 45 minutes or so. Maybe even not that long, maybe like 30 minutes or so, if that. So again, broad rotation approaching downtown Wilson here. So we'll keep watch of that. The rotation near Chickasha continues to broaden out. Looks less impressive, so that's good. However, the El Reno rotation still is kind of concerning me. I want to keep watching this. It's continuing to weaken. However, again, this is probably the strongest one we have right now, so we're going to watch it. Again, this is going to go on the southeast side of El Reno as we speak. So if you're in that area, seek shelter. You are included in the tornado warning on the southeast side of town. Again, right near the intersection of Highway 81 and Interstate 40. That's where the tornado would be if there was one on the ground. That's where the rotation is. Again, approaching Banner and Richland. We may even also have a little bit of rotation developing off to the north of there. It looks like we've got some rotation northeast of Concho trying to get going, so we'll watch out for that as well. Alright, so we'll wait for this next velocity scan to come in. Should be any minute now. Again, things are already getting going. They're already getting intense. They're already getting serious. Alright, so that rotation's weakening out near El Reno. The Chickasha rotation, again, is still something to watch out for, I think. I think that it's broadening out in general, but I think that's probably the one that we're going to watch the most. The one further to the south near Wilson is concerning, but we don't have quite as good a look at it on radar, so there's not much to say about it at the moment, other than you need to get to your safe spot if you're out there. Because, again, we really are not too sure exactly what that's doing down there, so just play it as safe as possible. So, again, we may have some sort of rotation continuing to be out here on the east side of Chickasha, right where Interstate 44 is. Soon it's going to be entering the Tabler area, back towards Middleburg, Blanchard, and Dibble. So seek shelter if you're in those areas. And again, there's a little bit of rotation trying to develop off to the north of here, but it's not looking super impressive at this point. It would be crossing Highway 3 right now if it was there, which again, it looks like it is, but it's just very weak. So we'll see if we get any updates on that, but for right now, it's just kind of chilling. Let's see, do we have any updates from the Storm Prediction Center? So we do actually. So damaging wind and tornado potential is increasing. This just came out 6 minutes ago. So damaging wind and tornado potential, I repeat, is increasing across northeast Texas and southeast Oklahoma. Around 3:30, storms will be near Gainesville. 4 p.m., storms will be near Ardmore. 4:30 p.m., storms will be near Ada. So again, an increasing damaging wind and tornado potential. 30 minutes ago, they also mentioned corridor of strong wind and tornado potential over the next hour or two. Again, 3:30, the storms will be near Norman. 4 p.m., they'll be near Oklahoma City. Again, damaging winds and tornadoes look like they are becoming a little bit more intense. Yeah, we have too. I wish you were watching, Kevin. We've called like every tornado warning so far. Okay, so the rotation near El Reno continues to look like something to watch. Again, it's very interesting. Your banner there. Embedded supercell QLCS mode is beginning to intrude in Oklahoma City. Yes. Again, that's where our tornado warnings are coming from right now, so... Again, this rotation is going to be nearing Richland, so if you're in Richland, make sure you're getting to your safe spot. A very small community on the outskirts of Oklahoma City. Yeah, we mentioned that one as well, Kevin, but it's not looking like it's going to do too much at this point, luckily. Alrighty. So we have not had any new alerts for a hot minute, but that's a good thing, obviously. And it's mainly this one line of storms that we're watching moving through Oklahoma City, and then the other line of storms disconnected from it through the Ardmore region that we're watching. Again, definitely some rotation there off to the east of Orr, north of Leon, Oklahoma. Right along the Red River there on the Oklahoma-Texas state line. So, tornado warning continues for East Central Canadian County. No major updates here, but it no longer includes the southeast side of El Reno. It no longer includes Powers. Banner, Yukon, and Richland. Stay in your safe spot, though. Yes, actually, it's looking like there will, Sam. At around 5 and 6 p.m., it actually looks like we could have a decent, strong tornado threat, perhaps, over this corridor here, the HRRR. And the NAM even kind of likes the idea of some prefrontals popping up over here and potentially becoming tornadic very quickly, so we'll watch out for that. But for right now, not really. So again, this storm is now the rotating part of this storm is now approaching Richland. It's north of Banner. All right. So again, downtown Oklahoma City, about to get hit by some big-time damaging winds. You're probably already starting to see some flashes of lightning. So again, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. 70-mile-per-hour winds incoming here within the next 30 minutes or so. Make sure those trampolines are hatched down. Again, flying trampolines are a real threat with damaging winds of this magnitude. Power lines could be down, trees could be down, all that nasty stuff. I was going to say all that good stuff, but it's not really a good thing, so again, rotation continues near Richland. Right on the edge of this tornado warning polygon. This really was not a great polygon placement by the National Weather Service. They should have done something similar, or something more like this, in my opinion. Again, obviously, a lot of historical tornado towns in this one frame here. You got Piedmont, you got Newcastle, you got Moore, you got El Reno. And now Hurrah is one of those towns. So again, the rotation was looking a bit more intense whenever it was near Powers, but it's still something to watch. Leon, Oklahoma needs a look. Where's that at? What did I just do? I searched up Leon, Oklahoma, and the first result was in, like, Germany. As I clicked it too early, whenever it only said Leon. Oh, yeah, I do see that. Yeah, again, the part of that storm that's warned is the Wilson rotation, but that's not really looking too concerning at this point. Again, this kind of just came out of the radar dead zone. And now we're seeing towards Turner and Pike something intense, so we may honestly see a tornado warning from that if the National Weather Service sees that. Yeah, that's going to be heading towards Ardmore over the next several minutes. Alright, so rotation, very, very weak rotation continues near Richland, now exiting the warning polygon. So again, if you're just not tuning in, make sure to like and subscribe to help spread the message. It helps push this stream further into the algorithm. And people need this coverage because we've got tornado warnings. Again, potentially a couple of tornadoes trying to touch down right now in Oklahoma. We've got damaging winds close to 75 miles per hour battering the Oklahoma City metro, and storms up by Tulsa. Even some storms down into Texas that are looking like they could become severe over the next several minutes. So we've got a lot to watch right now. Little baby supercell developing over Abilene, Texas. This is a live look at that. Wow, not such a baby supercell after all. A lot of heavy rain, some wind. Wow. Big time thunderstorm. So again, this is Abilene, Texas right now. Alright. So again, this is a look at Abilene. What's up, Levi? These are just on Radar Omega. So, again, that Abilene storm looks like it's trying to become a supercell very quickly here. It's like the opposite of a prefrontal supercell. Alright, so nothing hits harder than freeze-dried sour candy. That's crazy. Tornado warning continues for Wilson. So stay in your safe spot. We'll continue to watch that area. But back up towards Oklahoma City. Again, things are calming down in terms of the tornado threat. But it's not to say we couldn't still see one. Again, the rotation with our northern tornado warning is now over Richland outside of the warning polygon. It's not much at this point, really. So we'll likely see them cancel those tornado warnings. Again, this area to the south here looks pretty concerning to me, especially the area near Leon, northeast of Leon, near Turner. That honestly could be an ongoing tornado. So again, make sure you're getting indoors, away from windows if you're in that area. We only have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. One for the Ardmore region and one for pretty much the entire Oklahoma City, the entirety of the suburbs and the downtown region. So, what will Russellville, Arkansas be like this evening? Let's check. Russellville, Arkansas. So, you're in the marginal risk of severe weather. If we take a look at the current radar, again, you've got showers and thunderstorms all around you. I think the greatest threat in Russellville would actually be some big-time flooding because you're going to get storm after storm after storm. If we take a look at the future track here, we can see at around 5 p.m., heavy rain all around downtown Russellville, Arkansas. And if we continue to watch after that, again, things are going to continue 6, 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., just scattered storms all around Russellville. The big time frame for any sort of severe weather would be around 11 p.m. or midnight, but I think that's a bit of a stretch. Consistent brief cool, so yeah, spin-ups will be possible with those Oklahoma City storms, yeah. So we do have a new severe thunderstorm running in effect for Alva, Oklahoma. This is in the northwest part of the state, actually. This is a little supercell that's managed to get going here. Moving into downtown Alva as we speak, it looks very similar to that storm closer to Abilene. So if that gets a severe thunderstorm warning, I think that this one is probably pretty close to severe limit criteria. So again, Abilene, get ready for some rain, some lightning, some wind, some hail. Just a typical strong storm. Nothing you haven't seen before, to be fair. That's for sure. Again, if you're not tuning in, please be sure to like and subscribe, share the stream. We're trying to get this out to as many people as possible because this is a very serious day of severe weather coverage. Okay, this is the most concerning area of rotation right now is about to go near Greenville, Oklahoma. It's trying to produce a tornado. And now we do have a new tornado warning here for Ardmore, Oklahoma. This also includes Springer and Lone Grove. All of our storm chasers here are in this area. It's an extension for our rotation near Wilson. It's very interesting to me that they're re-warning that, but they're not going to warn this area to the south. Because it obviously means they're still watching this, but they haven't said anything about this southern area of rotation yet, so we'll see what happens. But for right now, make sure you're getting to your safe spot in these areas. Again, Oklahoma City about to get hit by 70-mile-an-hour damaging winds if you're not tuning in. Starting to intro the west side of the metro. What's up, Caden? So again, the rotation near Piedmont, Richland has kind of died out at this point. That's another big historical tornado town. Not a lot of rotation to seriously watch at this point, other than the one further south. Yeah, 4 tornado warnings, Prison. For sure. Pretty crazy stuff. Alrighty. So we should start to see the 18Z run of the GFS come in soon, so we'll get some new updates on potential Tropical Cyclone 18. Lone Grove is a town that got hit by an EF4 in February of 2009. I did not know that. What's up, Goose Man? Thank you for tuning in. Get a lot to watch right now. None of these areas are looking super intense at the moment, so that's the good thing. Rotation continues to be noticeable, definitely near Reading, Oklahoma. It's not looking super intense, though, to be completely fair. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for our southern storm here. This is a massive one. This includes Sulphur, Davis. That's a real town in Oklahoma. Davis, Oklahoma. It includes Davis, Mill Creek. This includes Drake, Nebo, Reagan, Tishomingo, Medill, Kingston, Marietta. Again, 70-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-sized hail, tornado possible tag. My opinion on the severity of the storms depends on what you mean by that. It's just too broad of a question to really answer. But this is the rotation we've had the whole time, so I didn't miss it. I just didn't point it out. But I mean, if you mean like the severity of the storms isn't, are they going to produce tornadoes? I think so. Again, across southeast Oklahoma and northeast Texas. But, anyway. Potential casualties that can cause. Yeah, I think the most dangerous thing today would actually probably be the widespread wind damage. Again, we're talking about 70 to 80 mile an hour winds being a possibility all across eastern Oklahoma today and central Oklahoma as well. Again, I think that's going to knock out the most power, probably going to do the most consistent damage because, again, these tornadoes are just going to be quite sporadic and discrete and isolated in nature, but the damaging winds are going to be quite widespread. You're more increasingly concerned in tomorrow. I am too, honestly. Tomorrow looks like, again, I definitely don't think it's going to go moderate. Before anybody asks me, I don't think it's going to go moderate. But tomorrow looks like a pretty intense day. Again, I think that discrete supercells are going to definitely produce tornadoes across parts of Oklahoma. But especially like this little corridor of northeast Texas as well. Tomorrow kind of reminds me of a less intense version of May 7th. Or, sorry, May 6th. Also a little bit further southeast. No, none of these threaten Toledo. They could bring us some rain, but nothing much outside of that. No, I don't think a 15% hatch is going to drop tomorrow. I think there would have to be a massive uptick in the outlook. And again, there already has been a big uptick today. So, all right, so the north side of the Oklahoma City line now is now warned for 60 mile per hour wind gusts, so we'll look out for that. I don't know. The storm mode is pretty interesting tomorrow, Levi. But if there was something to stop these storms from producing tornadoes, it would probably be that. It's not entirely just discrete supercells. It's going to be a big line in the evening time. And again, if any of these storms do produce, if any of these storms do become intense enough before that line develops, that could be a big problem. And again, this would be like a evening time event. Yeah, but that's why we have the 10% hatched. Even if it does not uptrend, I agree. We could see a strong tornado, but that's why we have the 10% hatch. I'm just saying, I don't think that the tornadoes are going to be quite widespread enough to see a 15% addition, because that's what that means. It's not 15% hatch doesn't mean you're going to see stronger tornadoes than a 10% hatch. It just means they're going to be more widespread. We have some rotation developing, by the way, near Cedar Valley and Cimarron City, Oklahoma here. All right, see you, Levi. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, it's Connor. Hello. Probably pop in every once in a while. All right, sounds good. And thank you for tuning in. Again, I think that tomorrow's going to be quite a bit bigger than today. I didn't say it was tight, I just said it was there, so. And it actually is not that broad, it's becoming stronger pretty quickly. Actually, yeah, that's a pretty big thing to watch now near Indian Springs, so. Again, if you're in this area, I'd be on the lookout. It also looks like a little inflow notch or something's trying to happen here. I don't really know what the technical term for that would be, I guess, because it's kind of, I don't know, would that be an inflow notch? It's easy but hard again. Rip. So again, we're going to continue to watch Cimarron City and Cedar Valley here. This area of rotation. If there's going to be one that produces a tornado over the next 30 minutes or so, it's going to be that one. I'm going to say that right now. It's already tightening up and strengthening a significant amount. Again, it's got a very interesting shape to it here. That little part that pokes out of the storm, that's probably indicative of some inflow winds. Again, I think this is probably going to be something that we watch for a little bit here as this approaches Laurie and Pleasant Valley as well as Mulhall. So again, right now, continuing to hook out. Wait for this next velocity scan. It should be any minute. If anybody's like, what the heck is he talking about? What we're looking at here are the red colors are winds going away from the radar. Greens are winds going towards the radar. So whenever we've got both of those colors really close to each other, that means that winds are going both ways, and that's usually indicative of some rotation. For anybody that's wondering. So again, some stronger rotation near Marietta still. I think this is something to watch out for as well. The area of rotation that we were just talking about looks a little less impressive, but I think this area here is quite concerning. I actually do that too, Jack. This is my first time doing it this year, but I actually do that too, so I get it. Just very fun. So again, I'd be watching this near Greenville, Oklahoma here. Again, it's so hard to see what the heck's going on because there's like no radar data out here, but it's very messy. So the Abilene storm did get a special weather statement. Again, we mentioned this like 15 minutes ago. 45 mile per hour winds and half-inch hail. Again, our camera here just got hit by this. Continuing to see rain and wind in this area southwest of Abilene. And now downtown Abilene starting to get the worst of it. And very close to being a severe thunderstorm. And we're going to see if any more of these little notches of rotation pop up on our Oklahoma City line here. But for right now, we're sticking with our 1 tornado warning. I didn't realize we were all the way down to 1. Guess the ones up north expired. So did the one on the backside of the storm. So we're now down to 1 tornado warning and 4 severe thunderstorm warnings. Some broadish rotation west of Crescent, Oklahoma, but it's nothing to stand out at. Crescent. Yeah, I guess so. Yes, it was PDS, Jack. Again, it was close to tornado emergency, I think. They might as well have called it a tornado emergency. Again, if we just look here, let's go back 200 frames. I don't even know if we need to go back this far, but we probably do because the frames have been coming in quite frequently. Let's see here. Let's try to find this. Oh, we actually need to go further back. Ooh, are we even going to be able to look at it unless we go through the historical radar data? We want November 3rd from three. No, it would have been like 2 because of daylight savings. This is so confusing because of daylight saving time. It's screwing everything up. And then let's go back to around here. All right. So we'll wait for this to load in. Again, we should be able to look at this storm here. Okay. So there it is. Let's go back. So here's the tornado. Obviously, you had that supercellular shape really quite a ways back here. I mean, you could kind of tell, honestly, as far back as, like, Lindsay, that this was trying to do something, all right? And it continues to hook out. By the time it gets to Noble, it develops that really classic supercell shape. This scan is quite concerning, and then you can't really see anything because it passes through the radar, and then it comes out on the other side of a radar as an absolute beast. Again, that is debris being lofted up thousands of feet into the atmosphere that the radar thinks is rain. It thinks this is rain or hail. This is pieces of people's homes, pieces of trees, pieces of, people's vehicles. That's what that is. That's basically a ball of debris. And you can see it very clearly there all the way through Hurrah. And that supercell really it kept going, and it produced a couple of tornadoes after that, I believe, as well. But very intense stuff, to say the least. And again, while at the exact same time that was happening, massive damaging wind threat by the south. And again, a little bit of looks like, did a tornado happen in this area too? I can just tell by the reflectivity presentation. Anyway. But again, here's the rotation, and it tightens up. Whoops. Oh, I don't know what happened. We broke the historical radar data, so that's cool. All right. Again, things are really not that active right now, honestly. We broke things again. There we go. Just by those radar scans, though, by the way, last night, you can also tell how many storms already passed through this area. And again, we had those pre-Halloween storms as well that dumped a ton of rain on this area as well. So that's why the flooding is such a big threat today. Again, flash flood warning remains in effect for the west side of Lawton, Oklahoma. So let's go back to Abilene. Again, this storm's not going to be able to do much. There's not a lot left out here in this area in terms of an environment. The SBC did say that they may actually issue a severe thunderstorm watch for this area here, for like northern Oklahoma and southern Kansas. Our storm near Alva looks like it was rotating for a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe that was contaminated, actually, but... Still some rotation southeast of Ardmore, near Hawks Bar. Alright. So if this tornado warning doesn't get reissued, we may honestly call it quits early here today and then go live again later whenever needed, because it looks like the tornado threat's not ramping up quite as early as we were thinking. Or, and this is a big or because we are still so early in the event, and this isn't even the peak time frame for a tornado potential, but maybe this is a sign of an underperforming day potentially. So that's something to look forward to if you don't like tornadoes. And again, that is a big or. That is a big if. Again, here's the mesoscale discussion they put out mentioning the potential for a watch getting issued for parts of Oklahoma, Kansas. Excuse me. Scattered strong to severe storms are expected to increase in coverage this afternoon and evening. Watch issuance is possible, 40% chance. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, it's a big or, it's a big if, it's a big but there is the potential. Nice. I did as well, Jack. So yeah, it's looking like they're going to let this tornado warning go, actually. It's crazy. We were live here for an hour. It does not feel like it. Feels like we were live for about 5 minutes, but... Yeah, we had that massive stream earlier today, where we had over 1,000 people watching. Not at once, but still pretty crazy stuff. Wind shear is very good. Wind shear is more than good. Welcome back, Tampa Air. Thank you for tuning in. Again, these storms off to the west here, the HRRR really likes the idea of like a supercell popping off in northwest Texas late tonight, so we'll see if that happens. But the HRRR is mostly showing the threat at this point. Oh, dude, it's showing a nasty looking supercell later this evening. Again, 6 p.m. Northeast Texas is the area to watch. It is good enough to support a full tornado outbreak, Jack. The wind shear is. But there are going to be other problems with this event that are going to potentially limit us from seeing that tornado outbreak, which would be a good thing, obviously, but just saying. So, anyway. Again, tornado warning here expires in 1 minute. It really looks like things are probably going to cool down here until 5 or 6 p.m. All right. So, what was that? So, I will say that the lower level jet will kick in a lot earlier tonight because, again, daylight saving time. But, I mean, it's already getting quite dark in the Midwest, considering it's only 4 p.m. Alright, so tornado warning has now expired, so again, we're going to let things go here for a little bit. We're just going to see what happens, and we'll come back later if necessary, but if things do pop off, we will have one more stream today. We will not have we will not have any other streams today other than that one, though. Again, things are just not popping off. But again, there's still time. By the way, first blizzard warnings of the year, other than Alaska. I get it. First United States blizzard warnings of the year, other than Alaska, have been issued for parts of Montana. That's pretty interesting. For very high winds, some snow, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. But anyway, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Again, we will be back here potentially one more time today, but otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.